Days have passed since the last video, and our triangle of tropical cyclones is still there in a slightly different form now. And you can see Typhoon Francisco heading in, and I'm actually located here, so we're getting heavy rain, and we're going to get rain overnight from this storm. And then we've got Typhoon Lekima heading into some islands here. So we're going to check out the storms, particularly Lekima, because it's a beast. Super Typhoon Lekima is currently approaching the northern end of Ishigakijima Island, and this is the radar loop, and on the radar loop I'll outline the island, and it's forecast to just clip the northern tip of the island, but that means that the southern eye wall will pass over the island by the looks of things. Current wind estimates are 130 knots sustained, that's about 150 miles an hour. And in kilometers per hour, it is 241. Gusting to 160 knots, and that is approaching to 300 kilometers an hour. The main intensification for Lekima occurred yesterday on the 7th of August. You see the speeds jumping up, and the structure of the storm really wrapped up. Both of the storms, but Lekima in particular, did its big intensification. And if we look at the last 30 hours, we can see the formation of Lekima's eye on the left first, and then Crosa's eye formed afterwards. But today, Lekima has maintained its strength and has even intensified a little further and is getting close to Category 5 status. And this is the story at the moment, so let's check the forecast. The Joint Typhoon Warning Center forecast has the storm currently at peak intensity, so not getting stronger than 130 knots according to them, and it passes north, just clipping north of Ishigakijima, and then it passes along and approaches the coast of China, and it's weakening as it does so, and it's down to actually 90 knots by the time it makes landfall on China. And on the Chinese coast there, it is 90 knots would make it a Category 2 hurricane strength typhoon. Taking a look at the hurricane wharf simulation, and if you look here, you'll see the island is here of Ishigakijima. I can never say it. And and then it passes north, and then the pressure is at 910 millibars. Now the thing is that this is the coast of China, and the storm is coming in, and it's still at 920 millibars. Very, very deep storm, and making landfall, and at landfall at 935 millibars. So I'll just have a check of the winds, because this does look stronger than Category 2. Yeah, these are the surface winds as the storm makes landfall. This is the China coast, and essentially looks like a Category 3 landfall to me, although there are no 100 knot barbs that I can see, but it looks like Category 3 in this model. Here's the global forecasting system model, and the storm comes in China, moves up the coast, so there's going to be millions of people that are affected by this storm, but it's not a major wind event after it makes landfall. So heavy rain, falling rain, a lot of people affected. Right, so the other storm is Crosa over to the east, and Crosa is also forecast to head up, according to the GFS. It's a little bit slow moving, trundling towards Japan, and notice the pressure is at 952. It never really gets quite as deep as the other one, Lekima, and then it turns, and according to the GFS, it actually never quite makes landfall on Japan. However, the European Center model, I think, is different. Yeah, it's interesting, because if you watch the storm Crosa, and then it comes up, it's actually not really that strong, 967 millibars. It stalls. It gets so close to Japan, but it actually jumps back in the final frame. So very difficult to tell what this one's going to do, but it doesn't look like it's getting as strong as Lekima. So we shall see. Alright, that's it from me. Let's take a final check as to how the Lekima storm is doing, and yeah, it's on its path, and in a few hours it will be passing over Ishigakijima.